You're gonna have to excuse my voice a little bit today because I'm just getting over being sick. If you don't already know, my name is Tony, also known as Art Crow here on the internet, and I'm trying to turn myself into a hero. I'm doing this by examining heroes in pop culture, literature, and wherever else I can find them. The Reading Rebels segments are all but the literature portion of that equation, where I try to glean what I can from the books that I read to try to make myself a better person. Today's book is this one, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. This book falls into the self-help category, so let's find out a little bit more about the author and why we should listen to them in the first place. Looks like Susan Jeffers has a PhD in psychology. Looks like she was also director of the Floating Hospital in New York, and she taught a course in fear at the New School for Social Research. So I'd say it's fairly safe to say that she is qualified to talk about this particular topic. The fears I've had have kind of controlled my life up until recently. Fear was the main motivating factor in a lot of my decisions, both good and bad. That being said, I was really excited to read a book that promises to help with that particular problem. And as excited as I was, I had a really hard time reading this book. This book just wasn't really written for a person like me. I think there's some great anecdotes, examples, and exercises that can help you feel more comfortable with the feeling of fear. However, I think she really overdoes it with the anecdotes and examples. While reading this book more than once, I thought to myself, alright, yeah, I get it. Let's move on to the next thing. Another example? No, yep. Another example? Come on now, come on. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it just didn't sit well with me. It also seemed a bit preachy to me about the value of formal higher education. You know all those examples that got me irritated? Well, I'd say about a third of them are about people going back to school, either to get their degree, their master's, or PhD. Now, I don't want to knock education. I think everyone should be educated. But not everyone excels at school. Some people need a different approach. And I think that's the real downfall of this book. It doesn't take into account different people, different styles of people. It's aimed at a fairly specific audience, and I'm sure that that audience would get a lot out of this book. I'm just not part of that audience. Now for the big question, where does this fall on my rating scale? I'm going to put this one in the get it from the library category. And that's because I did find a few useful things in this book. Not a lot, but I did find a few. And if you think you fall into the target mark for this book, then yeah, you should probably read it. But like I said before, I'm really not the target market for this book, so it wasn't as useful to me as I wanted it to be. If you're anything like me, you're probably going to get as much benefit, if not more, by watching my Motivational Monday videos. Because it doesn't really teach you how to conquer fear, it just teaches you how to push through it and do the thing anyway. So the streak has been broken, and I'm no longer recommending that you buy every book that I've reviewed. It's going to be tough for me to do, but I do have more videos coming out this week. Stick with me, Rebels. We can do this. As always, there are links in the description to stuff I talked about, my social media, and past videos. I love likes and comments, but the share shows that you care. If you're not subscribed yet, now is the time to do that. And click on the bell icon as well to get notified every time I put something new out.